Hi, welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is a little off topic for the garage portion of the channel, but the channel is about improving things. So something that I recently did was I started a diet. I mentioned it in a YouTube video that hasn't been posted yet. So today is August 13th. I have videos that are scheduled out until like December. So realistically, I'm recording videos faster than I'm posting them because I don't want to run out of content. So anyway, I started a diet called Noom, Noom. And I knew nothing about this diet. I was Googling sustainable diets. I'll also say that Noom does not sponsor me. They did not pay me for this advertisement or any information about this. It's a product that I paid for and used and liked. I will put a referral link in the description. You're welcome to click on it. If you do, it'll give you a free trial and it'll give you 20% off if you decide to continue with Noom and actually use the diet. And it will also kick me back $20 if you do it. Nobody has to do that, but 20% off to you is about $30, so it's probably mutually beneficial. So moving on. So a little history for me. I'm 33 years old. I was around 185 to 200, somewhere in that neighborhood, 5'10", 5'11". I was somewhere between 185 and 200 pounds for most of my life. When I was 26, I was working for a construction company, and I was, I was moving around a lot, and I was easily at 185. Then I decided to move to California. I got a job working for an IT company, and in the year 2015, I started off at 185 in February, and by the end of the year, I was about 200. By the end of 2016, I was at 225, and I've kind of stayed at 225 since the end of 2016. In the beginning of 2020, I started doing keto. In the course of a month, I lost about 15 pounds, but I found that I was starving all the time, and I really just didn't like it. And then when COVID started, I kind of came off of keto, and I just almost immediately gained the weight back, and I've been 225 since then. So, I really have never cared about the weight so much. The weight's just a number as long as I felt okay. But I was editing a YouTube video in June, and I kept hearing myself breathing, and all I was doing was washing a car, and I was like, why is this making me breathe heavy? It shouldn't be. It's not something, like, I'm not lifting weights, I'm washing a car. So I kind of offended myself to the point that I started looking at diets, and I Googled sustainable diets, and I came across Noom, and Noom had a free trial, so I figured I would try it out. So my first day was June 9th. So today's August 13th. My first day was June 9th, so it's been 2 months and 4 days. When I started out, I was at 226.2. That was my first weigh-in on day 0. And they tell you actually not even to weigh yourself until like day 1 or day 2, but I weigh myself every morning anyway, so I already knew what it was, so I just recorded it. And today, August 13th, I've officially lost just over 40 pounds. I'm at 185.6. My goal was 185, which I should hit tomorrow, maybe Sunday, but I'll be there by the end of the week. So for me, it's been effective. That doesn't mean it's a one-size-fits-all. No diets are, but I'll talk about it a little bit, how it works, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and just kind of go through the whole thing and just give you an honest opinion of it. So the idea behind Noom is it tackles the psychology behind eating, and it's more making you aware of the food that you're consuming, the way that impacts your body, the way that your body processes food, different types of food, and how they affect you, the hormones that go on while you're losing weight, the things that come up socially and situationally that you need to deal with, and the ways to deal with them. Like, for example, if you go to almost any restaurant, like, a reasonable caloric intake for somebody of my size at my current weight is around 1,500-1,600 calories a day. Well, a single milkshake at Red Robin is 1,400 calories. A single frappe at McDonald's can easily be 1,200 or 1,400 calories. Like, there are portions in, from what I understand, American restaurants, but I've really never traveled outside the country besides the normal tourist traps. We have large portions here, and that leads to larger caloric intake. There's things around like being comfortable with eating half of it and packing up the other half to go, and dealing with social situations like parties where there might be food out that you can pick at all night, and stuff like that, and making better choices for the things that you're eating. So there's nothing that's off limits with Noom, but you are supposed to limit the amount of calories that you're consuming. Like, they divide food into 3 groups. There's green food, yellow food, red food, and you're supposed to consume a certain amount of each per day. So when I look at myself, I start off with 1,400 calories in the day. As I walk, move, exercise, whatever, they give me back 50% of the calories that I'm expected to have burned during those exercises. So if I make 10,000 steps, I might end up with 1,600 calories that I'm allowed to have. Of that, about a quarter of them can be red calories, which would be like foods that are overly salty, that are bad for you, like ice cream, things like that, sugary cereals, stuff that we know is bad for us, but we love to eat anyway. Yellow foods, I'm allowed to have about half of my calories as yellow foods, and those would be things that are like chicken, or like things that are kind of good for you, but also kind of not good for you, good for you in moderation. And then green would be things like fruits and vegetables, and certain meals, egg whites, and like different things like that are easy for your body to break down, easy for your body to process, and you can kind of eat as much of those as you want to. And myself, I've kind of hovered around 1,000 calories a day is what I've been consuming. I've been trying to eat 2 or 3 green meals a day, and I've been successful with that. So I lost just over 40 pounds in just over 2 months. And that's, it's been good for me. But more importantly, I haven't been starving. I haven't been frustrated. I haven't hated my diet. I haven't wanted to quit it every day. I've made progress almost every day. There are some days where I haven't, where I've gone up, certain parties or situations. Like, there's my weight graph over time. So you can see like those bumps. And some people have larger humps, or things that aren't, their weight graph isn't quite as aggressive as this, and that's fine. I will say that there are 2 guys that I work with that are on Noom, and they have both seen success as well. And Jessica started doing Noom, and she's seen success. She's been doing it for like a week and a half, and she's down like 6 pounds. So originally when I set out, I was at 226. I decided that my goal was going to be 200. And by the end of the first month, I was so close to my goal that I was like, well, I need to push this out a little bit. I was already at 206. I had lost 20 pounds. So I decided to move my goal to be 185. And now that I'm reaching my goal, I think I'm going to move it a little bit more, and I'm going to try to stay between 180 and 185, meaning that I will kind of 100% do the diet at 185, and I'll partially do the diet at those in-between numbers from 180 to 185. Just try to stay at this weight. I feel good. I'm not tired. I'm not exhausted. I'm not, feeling worn out. I feel a lot better than I did when I weighed 225, to be honest with you. And my fruit consumption is up, my vegetable consumption is up, so that stuff definitely helps. I'm drinking less soda. So what are things that I did? I went from drinking normal sodas like a Coke to drinking diets, mostly water, but also diet sodas. I increased my water intake to around 12 cups a day. So 12 times 8 is 96 ounces. When I do drink soda, I'm drinking like Diet Coke or Coke Zero, or I'm drinking like these Monster Zero Ultras. This is 10 calories, this can. So it's 10 red calories, but still it's only 10 calories for this entire can, because it's mostly water. And that helps me out with like the caffeine withdrawal from not having, the Coke that I'm used to drinking. You can still drink coffee, that's fine. Black coffee's cool. I don't really do coffee, it's never been my thing. But the half and half and milk and stuff like that, you're supposed to have limited quantities of, but realistically, like Jessica still drinks half and half and coffee every day and she's fine. There are certain things that you can use to replace, eating mostly whole wheat breads instead of regular breads. We have a lot of like wraps or things like that, tortillas. So there are carb smart wraps. They're like a green wrap or spinach wrap, or there's whole wheat wraps, eating more of those. Instead of regular butter, I've been using, I can't believe it's not Butter Light, which is like 1/10 of the calories. I've just kind of focused on eating meals that are mostly green. And that part can be a challenge. And I didn't want this diet to be a pain in my butt, because if it was something where I had to be cooking myself special meals that the family wasn't eating all the time, I wouldn't stick to it. So what I ended up finding was at the grocery store, there are like 3 or 4 major brands of frozen dinners that are available that are green, or mostly green, but some are yellow, like pre-portioned frozen meals. All right, so in the interest of making this as easy as possible for me to stick to it, I found these meals that I could just buy, microwave, and eat. And they're not, I don't know, they're not what I would expect going to a restaurant, but they're also not bad. Like they don't taste bad, they're not difficult to consume, like they're fine meals, and they fill you up. So for breakfast, for the most part, I've been eating these. This is Smart Ones is the brand name. And I believe that Smart Ones is owned by Weight Watchers or one of those other companies. I honestly can't remember off the top of my head, but it's part of Kraft and Heinz. But anyway, this is a scramble. It's green. It's 200 calories. It's green. So I've been eating these for breakfast, 2 or 3 days a week. Some other days I'm making like egg whites or doing something different. And they're good. It's 200 calories for an entire meal. Healthy Choice makes these steamers. They have like 10 different ones. Most of them are green, some of them are yellow. You can scan the barcode on the back. They're all in Noom on the app. So it's pretty easy to tell which ones are green or which ones are yellow. But these are somewhere between 250 and 350 calories depending on the one that you get. There's a ravioli one that's green that's not too bad. This chicken margarita isn't too bad. There's a couple others. So easy lunch or easy dinner, something that you can grab pretty quickly. So if you're making dinner for the rest of the house and you want to, stick to your diet and the kids aren't on the diet, you can very easily just make something like this for yourself. It's, 6 or 7 minutes. This one's 4.5 minutes in the microwave. And they're actually pretty good. They're edible. Like it's not crap. They're pretty good. And Lean Cuisine makes meals too. So like this chicken parmesan one I've been eating quite a bit of. It's actually really good. It's 340 calories. It's chicken parmesan with spaghetti, and I love pizza. I love chicken parm. I love those kinds of things. Lean Cuisine has a French bread pizza. That's yellow, but it's 300 calories. They also have a round, like a personal pizza, pepperoni pizza. That's pretty good. So I made it easy for myself. I'm eating these 2.5 meals a day, I would say. Every day it's at least 2 meals, and then some days it's a third meal, some days it's not, and I'm eating something different, or whatever. Something like that. Let's say your breakfast is 200 calories and your lunch and dinner are 300 apiece. You're at 800 calories. So you have a snack here and there for snacks. Instead of eating like chips and pretzels and stuff like that, I've kind of switched to having apples on hand, oranges on hand, bananas on hand. An apple is about 100 calories, a banana is about 100 calories, an orange is about 65 calories. They're all green, so you can kind of, those are really good snacks. ice cream was a challenge for me. I really like ice cream, and I normally eat like regular ice cream. I normally eat chocolate shell. So it's easy for a bowl of ice cream for me to be like 1,000 calories, just from a volume standpoint, and eating heavy ice creams. So what helped me with that was there are several frozen yogurt brands that are very low calories. There's an ice cream called Enlightened that's not too bad. It's a yogurt, but it's called Enlightened. It's not too bad. And there are a couple other things like that. We have a franchise of yogurt places called Menchie's here in California. So Menchie's has a peppermint ice cream, and it's like 100 calories for a fair amount of it. So you buy like a quart of ice cream, and it's like, I want to say it's 6 servings in a quart, and each serving is like 100 calories. So that really isn't bad. It's mostly water. It tastes good. So it kind of like satisfies that craving. Couple other things, I got some ice cream sandwiches that are low-fat ice cream that are like 160 calories, and that's kind of cool because I can just grab a sandwich and eat the whole thing, and I don't have to worry about the quantity or measuring the quantity in any way. There are a lot of surprising foods that are green, or things that are like, promoted for you to eat. Like when I go to Red Robin, there's a meal there on the menu, and it's not a chicken platter that is green. A lot of the salads are green. If you go to a steakhouse, if you eat like a sirloin steak, those tend to be yellow. Any broth-based soups, chicken noodle soups and stuff, tend to be yellow or green. So, it's not that you can't go out and eat. It's just, you have to watch the quantities, because you order something from a restaurant and they give you basically 2 meals worth of food. But I haven't been hungry. I haven't been working out any more than I normally do. My step count per day is somewhere between 5,000 and 12,000, depending on the day. Whether I'm sitting at my desk all day and just moving around, here and there while I'm on the phone or doing other things, or 12,000 day might be one, like when I was out here washing all the cars on a Saturday or something like that, take the dogs for a walk, stuff like that. I might get a little bit higher in that number, but I'm not going to the gym, I'm not working out, I'm not lifting weights, I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. I'm just, doing my normal life with my normal job, kids, family, all the normal stuff that I normally do. And, I've cut 40 pounds, and I'm not unhappy in my current state. Like, I don't want for things. I'm not craving stuff uncontrollably. I'm not wishing that I could eat a bowl of ice cream right now. Like, I'm good. So that's my experience with Noom. I did not expect for people to be as interested in it as I found that they are, which is the reason why I'm doing this video in the first place. I made a post in the Obsessed Garage Facebook group about these belts, the Grip 6 belt, because I bought a Grip 6 belt, which, spoiler alert, it's a future video. I bought a Grip 6 belt from Grip 6, and I liked it a lot, and I ended up buying another one because my original one was a 34, which was my pant size at the beginning of the diet. This is a 32, and it's actually a little too big for me, so I cut the black one, the original one, back down to a shorter size, and then this one I bought at a shorter size to begin with. So anyway, what I'm getting at is I did a post in the Obsessed Garage Facebook group, and I just said, hey, I really like this belt. I think that it's it's something that you guys might be interested in as well. And I had mentioned in there that I was on Noom, and that I lost some weight, and that I needed a belt. And everyone starts, what's Noom? What's this? What's that? And then people were messaging me, asking me about the diet and like all this stuff, and like it just seemed like there was a lack of information around it, and also a strong interest in it. I don't want it to seem like I'm jumping on the bandwagon, but I suppose in a way I am. While there's interest, it would be cool to bring some of that to my YouTube channel and potentially gain some subscribers. But also, I feel as though an honest opinion of the diet is probably helpful to some people who might be going through the same situation. And for me, I've never wanted to deal with diets. I've never wanted to deal with exercising. Keto sucked. It was like the worst month of my entire life. And, it's just like I've never really cared about it. I've never really struggled with it. But, 6 years ago, I was working at a construction site. I was mowing lawns on the side. I was plowing snow, shoveling snow all winter. Like I was much more active than I am right now. And I think that there are probably a lot of people that are similar, especially with COVID and work from home and all of these other things. You know, I went from being in an office and visiting customers and walking around and doing stuff and averaging 10,000 steps a day to a point where now I'm averaging somewhere in the 6,000 range. And that's because there are a lot of 5,000 days where I'm sitting at my computer all day and answering emails and doing stuff. And, you know, here and there I'm running to pick up kids or take a dog to the vet or, you know, do stuff like that. But I'm just not moving as much as I was. And, you know, then that coupled with the availability of food, because I'm home all the time and I'm walking through the kitchen and I'm on the phone and stuff, and I grab a handful of chips or I grab a, you know, whatever, I end up gaining a bunch of weight. And I think a lot of people did. You know, at the beginning of COVID, I was 200 pounds because I had lost a large portion of it on keto, 205, something like that. And, you know, by the end of April, I was back to my 220, 225, which I've just kind of stayed at for another year or so. It seems at this point sustainable to me to stay here. I feel as though I've learned quite a bit during the Noom trainings. If anybody had interest in like what they ask of you on a daily basis, you weigh in once a day. There's about 10 minutes of training that you can read through. If you don't have 10 minutes a day, that's fine. You can just do half of it. Like it's designed to be a 5-month course. I'm through almost all of the training and it's been 2.5 because I'm doing the maximum amount that they allow you to do every single day. Reasonably, like I read through the entire lesson on the toilet when I wake up in the morning. Like it's 5 to 7 minutes is about what it takes me, and they estimate that it's going to be 10 minutes or less. I weigh in, I eat breakfast, I record my breakfast. Recording is really easy. They have a barcode scanner. Most things are in there. So like, you know, if you're picking up stuff like this or you've got supplies or, you know, even like a Monster or whatever, you can scan most barcodes and they're in there. If they're not in there, they just ask you to help them add it. And really, they just ask for like 6 things on the back: the amount of calories, the serving size. So like in this case, 308 grams, 340 calories, 9 grams of fat, you know, how many carbs, how much sodium, etc. So they ask you, I don't know if it's 8 different things, numbers-wise, that you just have to like type in and go through, and then it adds it to the system, and then you can kind of continuously use it. And what I find is that if you're somebody who, like me, has like a ritual where you're eating the same things over and over and over again because you find things that you like and you're just, you know, comfortable with them, it kind of recommends them. So like when I open up in the breakfast, like if I open up breakfast to try to record my breakfast, it'll be like ham and cheese scramble, and then, you know, below that there'll be like egg white, and then below that there'll be like English muffin, whole wheat English muffin, you know. So it'll just kind of like recommend the things that I normally eat. You know, and if I pull up a snack, it'll say like apple, banana, orange. Those are like the 3 choices that are there. And then, you know, you can just add whatever you need to beyond that. But I'm honestly pretty happy with it. If you're on the fence, try the trial. See if it's for you. It might not be. Like it isn't a one-size-fits-all. Most things aren't a one-size-fits-all. But it was effective for me. And if I'm anything like you in terms of my story and where I'm at, and, you know, kind of my life situation right now, working from home and moving less than I historically have, and us coming up on another wave of COVID potentially. I mean, who knows, this Delta variant thing. You know, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to end up with, and potentially might end up being more sedentary again in the future. So anyway, have a great day. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to post them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to try it out, feel free to use my link. Feel free to not use my link. It's perfectly fine. You guys don't owe me anything. But, you know, if you do use my link, the program is about $150. It's a 5-month program, so you have access to the app for 5 months. I think they give you like a 4-month and a 6-month option too. I did 5 months, it was $150. They do give you a free trial, so you can try it out for, I think it's a week before you pay for it and decide if it's right for you. I saw results almost immediately. So I would say within the first week, you should already see progress if you're following the stuff that's on there. And you know, my links saves you 20% and it kicks me back $20. There might be other coupon codes out there. There might be other links out there. I honestly don't know. I didn't look for any of those when I started doing it. I just found it and I tried it out and I did the trial and I got to the end of the trial and I was already down a couple pounds and I was like, this is working, this is good, and I paid for it. And I didn't really care, you know, if it was $300, I don't know that I would have, like, it's a lot of money. I don't know. I don't know where the line would have been, but at 150, I was like, yeah, you know, it's $30 a month. A gym membership is easily that, and it hasn't been as effective for me because with a gym membership, you actually have to go to a gym, and who wants to do that? So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.